Hola muchachos, ¿qué tal? Buenas tardes. Aquí tienen las instrucciones a tu tarea. Core workbook pages 56 and 57. So similar to the previous homework that you had, the guided pages, for the core workbook pages, we're working on irregular verbs and the preterite. And the first activity we have, again, you want to make sure you have the correct side, core workbook pages 56. For part A, you're filling in the blank with the correct form, the correct preterite form of the verb ir. Very straightforward. So if you take a look at page 140 of the textbook, you have your conjugations there of the verb ir and ser. And very similar to the practice, the guided practice we did on page 140, you're filling in the blanks with the correct preterite form according to the subject, right? So for example, número uno in the yo form, to say I went to the bank, be yo fui, ¿cierto? Yo fui al banco. Number two, in the usted form, usted blank a la farmacia. Just go to your notes here. In the usted form would be fue. Just getting you guys to practice using the different forms of ir in the preterite. The more you practice, the more it will stick. All right, so that's part A. I don't think there are any curveballs in here. Pretty straightforward. Part B, you are creating full complete sentences using the correct preterite form of the verb ser. So for example, la obra says a work of theater. La obra fue larga. Adjective provided there, and then we're using fue because we're talking about la obra, talking about an event that's singular, and we're talking about it, so that's why we're using third person singular. Let's do the first couple together. This looks like a class, yeah? So I want to say the class was interesting. En español, la clase. And then since we're talking about something, singular, it's just la clase. Again, we're going to use the el ella form. Yo is when you're talking about yourself. To, you're talking to someone else directly. When we talk about people or talk about a person or a place or thing, in this case, la clase is singular, we use the third person singular. So that's why the first answer is fue. Looks like this one is los libros. Los libros, that's a plural subject. So if we go back to our notes, we're not going to use any of these because those are for singular subjects. So our options are fuimos or fueron. Nosotros wouldn't work, right? Because we're not included. We're talking about something, in this case, the books. So we're going to use the ellos form. Ellos, los libros, fueron difíciles. Difíciles. Got to add es to the end of that adjective because our subject is plural and our verb is plural, so our adjective needs to be plural too. Try your best with these. The pictures are ambiguous, right? Just come up with what you think is the best noun for that one. This is probably el juego or el partido. Looks like a sporting event. A party in español, la fiesta. And then this looks like movies, right? Las películas. So use Spanish dictionary if you need to look up those terms. But to describe them, use the correct form of ser. And remember, ser and ir actually share the same conjugations in the past. All right, and the last page, page 57, a bit more tricky. Fill in the blank with the correct form, preterite form, of either estar, poder, and tener. Now, for the sake of this exercise, remember that estar is going to probably be used with a location to say that you were at that place. So take a look at the key vocabulary for chapter 3a that covers various locations. La tienda de equipo deportivo, el correo, la farmacia, el supermercado, la biblioteca. So probably going to be estar if it's referring to a place. Probably going to be poder if the word that comes right after the blank is a verb. Poder is used with verbs to indicate what you were able or not able to do. So take a look at what comes after the blank. If it's a verb, more than likely you're using the verb poder there. And then tener is always going to come after que, because tener que, in that phrase, in Espanol is to have to do something. You're indicating what you have to do. And remember, this chapter is all about shopping and the errands that we run. So, running it back, estar, your context clue is location. Poder, your context clue are verbs. And tener, your context clue is the preposition que. Tener que, that expression is to have to do something. Like, tengo que hacer la tarea. I have to do my homework. Or, tengo que lavar los platos. I got to do the dishes. So that should help you out for this particular exercise. And then the same for this as well. Same logic. Estar for locations, poder with verbs, and tener with the expression tener que. If none of those context clues are present, then it's the verb hacer, which is just the verb to do. There's really no context clue for those. Try your best with this. This is the most challenging, probably the most challenging homework you will do this year. And like I've said before, in Spanish 3 and perhaps even Spanish 4 as well, irregular verbs in the preterite are really tricky, and the book is throwing a lot at you all at once. I'm not asking for perfection. I expect you to make mistakes. That's how we learn, right? Do your best. We'll go over it together after you're done. You give me full effort, I give you full credit. That's all I'm asking for. So do your best with this. Utilize the notes that we've done together and the examples we've done together in class, and I think you'll do just fine. All right, everybody, so that is your homework again. Core workbook pages 56 and 57. And if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in class or come visit me during student tutorial. Adios, muchachos.